of sharing our story. And tonight we're going to share our story of Florida, which is a pivotal moment in our story. So we're going to share that tonight.
Yeah. I guess we're going to talk about from time we left South Carolina.
Yep.
Well, we were just kind of discussing this before. Kind of parts of our Florida journey that we forgot. Kind of somewhat insignificant, but it's interesting enough to share, I guess. We drove from Hilton Head down to a little town called Interlaken or something like that.
Something, yeah. Very small town.
I would say probably about 20, 30 minutes east of Gainesville. Well, I don't think there's much around.
Well, we have to go back. So if you didn't watch last episode, we're on our way to a church in Orlando. That's why we're going to Florida.
Right. And so we stopped there. We had a site for 2 weeks at this little campground. One of our first experiences of, just because we're trying to stay within a budget doesn't mean that we basically realized that, okay, we need to either do a little more research, because I think the campground in Texas in Longview was kind of like a, I don't know, it kind of set us up for failure, at least in this situation, because we were looking for that price range.
Because it was so nice for what we realized was like a budget. Right.
And so we pulled into this campground, and she was like, no, this can't be the campground. I am not staying here. And, it looked nice on photos on the internet, and because it was probably pictures taken 30 years ago, it was a campground where everybody there lived there. Pretty tough getting the camper in because a lot of overgrown trees. There was no campsites, no pads. It was just
dirt,
sand.
Well, sand. It was
sand. But we'll keep it PC and be nice about it. But it was a questionable place to stay, which we had zero trouble. It really wasn't bad. It was really quiet.
We didn't have any issues, but I felt super uncomfortable and paranoid the entire
camper
time.
Across the, street from us, campground street. A lot of cars come and go throughout the day.
Yeah, but they could have been baking cakes. We don't know.
They wouldn't talk to the guy. He seemed pretty nice. The guy next to us, he seemed pretty nice.
Yeah. Anyways, needless to say, we learned you get what you paid for.
Yeah.
So.
Not that we have any issue with living in the camper, because clearly we're part of it,
Yeah, it's more of a safety concern.
Yeah, but one cool thing, we did get to visit St. Augustine.
Yes.
From this campground.
That was really cool.
That was one of my checklist places to go. I would like to go back with just the two of us, or at least have our older kids, because Ellie was. She was still 3 at the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was 3 at the time, so she kind of wore out pretty quick. We did a little...
There's a lot of walking and sightseeing, and that's not the best thing for a 3-year-old. We did go to this really cool pirate museum, though.
We did the pirate museum.
And the little fort.
But I think you had more fun at the pirate museum
Probably,
than Ellie
honestly.
did, because... She just wants to walk around and touch and look at everything.
Yeah, that's true.
And you actually did the little scavenger hunt for the gold coins that I lost in the parking garage afterwards.
Yeah.
Felt bad about that. And we got to go see a little fort and ride on a boat. But I definitely like to go back. More of just a couples trip, though, just the two of us. But then we went from there, which we forgot about this place. We stopped just outside of Ocala. I don't know if there's a name of the town.
I forgot about that.
We were just a couple miles down the road from Silver Springs, which we visited there. It was really nice. That campground was very stressful to get to with a tall fifth wheel, because we turned down this neighborhood to get to the campground that's in the back.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that too. We got stuck in the middle of the street, and a man like at his house literally had to like come out, and Blake had to back down like the entire street, didn't you? You like backed down the entire street because it was just like a sand. Why couldn't you pass? There was like a tree
we turned on the first street that the GPS took us down. Well, we passed the first one the GPS was trying to take us down, thankfully.
Yeah.
Took the next one. A lot of live oak trees, low-hanging branches, large low-hanging branches. And I did not think I would fit. So we said, well, let's take this street and go back up the other street that the GPS was trying to take us down. That was an unpaved dirt road, essentially, which was sand in Florida, at least where we were. And we're making it down pretty well. And then finally we get to the spot where there's a tree in the middle of the road and it split.
That's what it was, yeah.
And this guy comes out. I was looking at it. He comes out and he's like, I don't think you're going to make it right there. And I definitely would not have. It was loose sand in that spot, pretty soft. So she had to get out and talk to me on the phone and back us down. I don't even know, at least a quarter mile down this path that we took.
Oh, it was so stressful.
And the sad thing is that it was like the last probably 150 yards of street before it opened back up to where we needed to be.
And like everything was tight and everyone parked like on the side of the street. So like it was a nightmare.
And you would think that, you know, first thing comes to your mind in kind of is country out there. As you know, we're in southern Mississippi. And we think country, like this, it was just a Florida version of country. And so you think dogs. Well, she was on the phone. She's like, oh my gosh, they got chickens. I think I see a rooster.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. Y'all, I'm way more terrified of a rooster than I am a dog. I'm serious.
So we back down. We just take a look, and I think we just kind of we cleaned whatever dirt was on the roof with the smaller branches on those trees. There was a car coming the other way. They just had to wait for us to go around because we're, you know, weaving in and out of the branches. Finally make it back there, extremely stressed out. Make it campground, kind of a similar situation, like all the campsites were just grass.
Yeah.
You guys like, well, man, this place, I don't know about it. Actually it was really quiet, not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I felt comfortable walking around, like letting Ellie ride her little bike and scooter.
I think about a month or two later, I actually ran across a YouTube couple that travel in their truck camper. I think Cody and Kelly or something like that, which she doesn't watch stuff like I do, but they actually stayed in the same exact campground.
Okay.
But they were like super nice, really quiet. Yes, if you have a 10-foot roof, it was great. But whenever you're pushing 14 feet, it was pretty stressful to get to it.
Yeah.
But no, the place was nice. It was quiet. It'd be a good place to stay for a while just because of how quiet it was back there.
Yeah. And when we went to Silver Springs, we kind of went off on but when we went to Silver Springs, we actually got to see manatees, which was really cool.
That's always been a bucket list since probably middle school when I learned what a manatee was. I heard some people say they've seen them in South Louisiana where we're from. I never have. You can't see 6 inches into the water hardly most of the time. So
these are like crystal clear, like a pool, like you can see. They also had alligators, and yes, we're from South Louisiana, but like I don't know, just being able to, I don't know,
it was fun.
It freaked me out, but
all the difference is I
would be freaked out in the bayou at home too. So you
could see them 10 feet beneath, laying on the bottom where you're paddling the canoe over them.
And they were supposed to have monkeys. We didn't see any monkeys, but I've seen several like videos online of the fact that they had monkeys, but we didn't get to see any.
It was really cool. It was kind of weird for me because growing up in southern Louisiana fishing, we have the swamp out there, and essentially it was just a swamp with clear water.
That is true.
It was identical to what we see back home, except I can actually see in the water. And it was super clean. So it was really interesting to see. If you ever get the opportunity to go to Florida and see something other than the beach or Disney or Miami, definitely check out the Springs because we visited that one. The Weeki Wachee. Forgot we did the mermaids.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too.
Weeki Wachee Springs.
Y'all, I'm remembering so much.
And then I forget. There was another one we swam at.
So Wiki Wachi, they have a live mermaid show. And Ellie, like, we had to bring her to that. But it's really cool because they're actually, like, performing underwater. That was really cool.
Yeah, so they, there was like a giant, I guess, aquarium wall where they walled up the springs.
We'll
so
post pictures of all this, too.
You can see fish swimming while these girls and guys are swimming in the water with these, not oxygen masks, but they had air holes with oxygen where they can breathe. Really cool experience. So I think it's been there since like the 50s.
Yeah, they did. I think so. It's been there for a long time.
But there's float rentals. I think there were glass bottom boats there. There's a water park. It
was really cool.
Worth seeing 100%. But anyway, so from there we went to, was it Winter Garden?
Winter Haven? No.
I'm looking it up.
No, I'll put it in there. I know we never remember our campgrounds or places we go, but I'll put it in there once I find it afterwards.
That's fine. I'm gonna find it right now just because I'm that Winter Haven was where we went.
That's what I said.
Yep. See, told you.
That place, loved it. Like, we loved it, and
it's actually off of Winter Haven. Cypress Gardens is more specific where we were. Actually, just a couple miles down the street from this place called Legoland.
Yeah, we went to Legoland.
In the campground we stayed at, favorite thing was really excited about it, especially living in a camper. We stayed next door to Walmart, so.
Yes, they had a sidewalk, like literally an entrance from the campground to Walmart. So we could just like walk to Walmart from the campground. Kind
of like we have the same issue because we're so indecisive. We have the same issue every day. Today being one of them, being, hey, what are we going to eat for dinner? Like, I don't know. Well, what about this? Well, we don't have this part of this ingredient. So it was really great because we're like, do you want to eat this? I was like, yeah, I'll just go walk to Walmart really quick.
Yeah, and they had a pool, and it was just really nice. It was just like a very family friendly. They had a little golf course.
Yeah, mini golf.
Yeah.
Shuffleboard.
Yeah, we really liked that campground.
There was a tournament there. Was it a shuffleboard tournament, like a little community campground thing?
Yes, I forgot we did that too.
Is that what that was? No, it was cornhole. They did cornhole.
Was it cornhole? Okay.
Yeah. Either way, but they had, the community center. They had oh shucks. There was a barbecue thing in the community center one day for something. I don't remember. But either way, it was nice campground. We visited Legoland. We had bought our first camera there. We bought a GoPro, and we tried to, like, we're gonna vlog and we're gonna be those people.
Yep.
And we walked around with a GoPro in Legoland. And then tried to edit that video on an old MacBook that was given to us, and that did not work.
Not at all.
I would like to try to take that footage and see now that we actually know how to edit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Not that we
have so much footage from our travels that needs to be gone through. It'll take forever.
But that MacBook, it could not handle
No.
Like, it was really, really jumpy. So it was really frustrating to try to do anything with it. And who knows? I don't even know if we got any decent footage to make a decent video from it. Now we kind of have a little bit better idea of how to film stuff somewhat.
Yeah.
Definitely not good at it.
So all these great things were happening.
Yes.
Like, we were, we went to Legoland, we went to Crystal Springs, we were essentially like on a vacation, is what I felt.
Yeah, Florida was fun.
But God had asked us to go there specifically to go to this church.
And we did clearly everything but.
And we did everything but. And we were having the time of our lives. But spiritually, we were extremely miserable, dry, drained, like not connecting with God, very distant. And we went to every other church because it was inconvenient.
Well, we picked a spot, like our campground was, like an hour and a half from the church that we were actually supposed to go to.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't very smart of us, I don't think. Just, but we was like, oh, look, there's a church right here. We went to one church down the road, which great church. It's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Went for Mother's Day weekend. It was Mother's Day weekend, right?
Yeah, we saw that picture.
Beautiful church. Great service. They had Mother's Day weekend. They had a little, I don't know, 1960s camper set up outside as a
super cute. It's like a little photo booth.
Yeah, as a photo booth. We got, the little 6 pictures off of it.
And they gave away little rocks that said like little mom quotes. They were like little painted rocks that people had painted. Still have a rock as well.
There was one of my favorite churches we've been to was I think it was a Church of Christ. This one was a little closer to the campground too. It was a smaller church, and they were extremely welcoming.
There was probably only maybe like 50 people.
We were the first service. I think we were the early service.
Yeah,
and they kept on saying, "This is the service of our older people," and they kind of was like hinting, like, "This is the old people service."
Yeah,
y'all might want to be coming to the second service where it's the younger folks.
The choice was like 9 or 11 though, and
something like that.
Our church here, of course, is 10. So like our home church is 10 o'clock. So we're like, we're gonna go to 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we were. But
anyways, okay, so we go to all those churches. We're living our vacation lifestyle. And then finally, like, I don't even know how to explain it. We were like weirdly miserable. Like we were like having fun and like doing great things, but we were weirdly miserable. And we finally realized, obviously, it's because we were being disobedient. We were just kind of like living vacation.
Yeah, not that you don't live your life as a Christian.
Yeah, that's not what I mean.
And I don't think that's what you meant.
Yeah.
But we were just we were doing anything but what we were supposedly set out on the road to do. Like God's called us to preach and to teach others, and we're trying to figure out like, okay, well, how does this fit in? Well, we just kind of threw it all out the window once again, just like whenever we jumped on a cruise and went to Mexico when we were supposed to go to Utah. I mean, you ever read through the Old Testament and you read through the Israelites and they kind of run the same pattern, and it's like, what a bunch of fools. Well, we're right there with them.
Yeah.
Finally break down, actually really dig into the word and spend some time with God and pray, and both comes to the same conclusions. Like, we have to make a priority to go to this church. We have one more week here. If we don't go, we got to stay in Florida, essentially. Yeah. And then we were kind of set on like, well, we're gonna probably stay in Florida if God essentially doesn't. We didn't feel like we were released. I guess is the best way to put it.
We didn't have peace about it.
Yeah.
Which we've shared that on another episode, but like we have like a peace about leaving a place, and if we don't feel like we have that peace, if we feel like God's not done there yet, then we stay for however long it takes.
And which we already had plans to leave there because it was starting to get hot,
Yeah.
I don't know what you consider that. If you consider that central or southern Florida, I don't know. It was hot. We're coming up on June, but we were like, we're going to move up to Gulf Shores where my mom was staying in her camper for, I think she stayed the whole summer. But we had plans. We was like, well, we'll cancel that if we have to.
Yeah.
Anyways, wake up Sunday morning, drive an hour and a half out to Orlando area.
Yeah, this church was like right by Disney World, wasn't it?
We passed Disney and Universal. You could see the rides.
Yeah. It was almost 2 hours.
Was it?
Yes.
I was wondering if it was an hour and a half.
I'm pretty sure it was almost 2 hours.
We had spoke to a girl in the grocery store, and she's like, well, it depends on what time of day it is to get to Orlando. We was considering going to Disney for the day. And she's like, it could be an hour and a half, could be 3 hours, just depending on traffic or something. And
we woke up super early.
Luckily, we got there, no traffic issues.
Yeah.
Drove into Orlando, go to this church. What was the church called?
Discovery Church in Orlando.
So we get there, go, and we're kind of, once again, we're standing around the lobby like, just somebody we're going to talk to, or what's the deal? Like, what's
We're always like trying to figure out, okay, awkward. God, here we are.
Not that they weren't welcoming at all.
Yeah, no, it was,
They were church. There's a lot of people there. You go in, it seemed like a great church, but we didn't feel like the Church of Christ we went to we felt super welcomed and warm. It was like, we should come back here every Sunday. But then, of course, the next Sunday we decide we're going to go back. We're going to go to where God's called us to. So we get there. I'm expecting to feel that same feeling of like, man, super welcoming. But it's a large church, so it's kind of hard to, like, you get lost in a crowd with a big church like that. And send off Ellie to the kid area. And then we sit down in service. And this guy comes up on stage and he preaches a message about serving and, all this stuff, the importance of serving and just, I don't know. He preaches a message. We get back in the truck and I look at her and I'm like, how did I ask you? Like, did you hear anything?
Yeah, he was like, did you hear anything? I was like, not really. I was like, it was a really good message. I think he preached on Mother's Day, actually. The message was on Mother's Day.
That was Mother's Day was the other church closest to the campground.
Oh, just kidding. I don't know. Anyways, I was like, yeah, it was a good message.
I remember the message because God spoke to me pretty intensely. So he preached on serving. Now, there was also signs in the lobby about there's this giant coffee bar, like a Starbucks, set up in there, and it was like shut down due to lack of volunteers. So probably why they preached on serving that Sunday.
No, maybe.
Probably so. I get it, but it was a good message. I mean, didn't disagree with it, but I asked her in the truck, and I was like, "What do you think?" She's like, "Well, it was a good message, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Well, he spoke to me." She's like, well, "What did he say?" And like, it had nothing to do about the message, like, and it was 100% of like, just we went. Somehow it seems like God knew that we would go and just kind of go on this little hiatus again.
Gee, I wonder how he knew.
And I sat there, and he basically told me to go and do social media, like kind of do what we're doing here, essentially. Start posting videos, something I'd struggled with, I don't know, probably a year or two before we even hit the road. Just feeling that itch to do it, but being terrified, absolutely terrified to be on camera. We had this GoPro, like, okay, we can do stuff with this camera, but I was going to try to film everything but myself. I got no problem being the cameraman and holding it, but I didn't want to be on the other side of the lens. So, and it was just essentially the same thing he told me in Utah. I heard this essentially the same thing, but it wasn't, oh, wow, he took me to the most beautiful place I've ever seen. And it was more of like, I'm really hot in Florida and we were like, that last week or so, we were pretty miserable. Like we were
more than, I think it was like 2 weeks. Like we were starting to get really, really tired of being in Florida.
Yeah. So we could not wait to get out of Florida. We had been there over a month at the time because we had those 3 weeks before we've ever
But that
made
really circles back to our distance.
It was our disobedience and our distance. But it's just, we ate up with the miserable bad. And it was, I'm like kind of cowering down in my seat. I felt like I was on fire in this church, and she's over here bundled up freezing, which is normal. But I just left and I was like super convicted. Like, all right, I got to do this. Which that was that Saturday. I think like.
No, that was a Sunday, babe.
I'm sorry. That was that Sunday. I think like the next Friday or Thursday or something, we hit the road. We headed towards Alabama.
Well, I wanted to share my poem too, which I know I've shared a couple, maybe 1 or 2 poems already. But when we were in Florida, this is the first time, and so far the only time this has happened to me. Usually when I'm praying, I write like the lyrics of the poem completely out. Well, this is the first time that I went to write the poem and like I couldn't finish it. And then once we left that church, I was able to finish the poem. And so I'm going to share it with y'all. Okay, sorry, I had to go get my phone. I left it on the table. Okay, so this poem is called Back on Track. I didn't call you to a life of convenience. I called you to a life of obedience. You keep quoting me to everyone, but you yourself forgot to listen. Yeah, it's easy to live a life for you, but it's much harder to follow what's true. So I have to ask you, what is holding you back? Refusing to trust me is why you're so off track. Submit to me and allow me to speak through you. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all that you do.
Yep. That's the point.
Yeah, that's the poem. And that's just one of those poems that honestly continues to play into my head and circles back whenever I feel like God's asking me to do something that I don't really want to do, but he's asking me to trust him. And he just reminds me of this Florida moment where, like, I guess essentially we experienced not being close to him and it's completely miserable. And it was just like a small little taste of not being close to him, not seeking him, not asking him for guidance. Not that you have to ask him for every step you make. That's not what I'm saying, but like just staying close to him. So yeah, he gave me that poem. I read it to Blake, checked out. And then honestly, we had peace about leaving, I would say.
Yeah. It's pretty much instantly after that service. It's like, okay,
yep,
it's time to go. Because I was really kind of worried. Like we had reservations in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and it was like, I don't know about this, and we were fine with leaving, but we had to have that peace about it. And once we did, like the rest of the last few days there was great.
Yeah.
It was still hot. Like it was starting to get hot. We had a little portable window unit coming through that window right there.
This was also, so in Florida, besides Texas, where we met people who were already believers. And of course, if you are, if you struggle with like talking to somebody about your faith, that's where this comes in. We want you to share your story because it's easy to tell somebody about what God has done in your life and why you believe and like why you trust him, why you're loved by him. So this is the first place where I actually had an opportunity to meet somebody who wasn't a believer, and I was able to share some of our story with them. And I just remember being like, I don't know what to say to this person. And he said, share your story. And as I would share it, he would have questions, and it kind of like opened up that conversation. And yeah, it was just a really cool moment. It was the first time that I had an opportunity to kind of plant a seed with our story.
We spoke with several people in that place, though.
Oh, yeah, in Florida, but yeah.
You was able to have a conversation with that guy at the pool, and then that girl with the kids.
Yes.
You don't know if you still don't keep up with her anymore.
Well, we're Facebook friends. Yep.
And then we got a chance to really speak with a Hispanic couple that they didn't speak English.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah, we did Duolingo.
We had a long conversation in the street, in the campground. And I say in the street, like, I don't know, for those of you who don't camp or whatever, it's in the road in the campground is not the road in front of a house.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, we sat there and the kids played, didn't really speak, obviously, because but we had our phones and like we would speak into the phone and like translate back and forth. Had great conversation with them. Really, really nice couple.
But what I'm saying is like Florida is the first time I find we actually started like sharing stories with people, like planting seeds and like actually like being vulnerable and transparent.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then of course from there we did go to Gulf Shores.
Yep. We stopped halfway at a state park. Oh man, I think we were the east side of Tallahassee, I believe. Like blue. What
was that place? That place was really cool. I'll put that on the video because I want to say like Blue called.
Springs or Clear Springs or something like that, maybe.
Really, I thought it was something with a tree. I don't know.
I don't know.
Y'all, we've stayed so many places, and we just find them like spontaneously. Like we just look them up.
That was a big fear of mine because like place to place, like where, like what if we can't find? Because our first time staying in the camper, we were at a local campground close to the house that we were selling, and for the 4th of July, we were kicked out. We couldn't
That's
stay.
true.
I guess technically we could have just stayed back in the house, but I don't know why we didn't. It was still our house.
Well, anyways, we are going to end it here tonight because Gulf Shores is a whole different place, whole different story. And it actually continues to be God just giving us little whispers and confirming them just like he has been since before Utah. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, we will see you in the next episode. Good night.
All right.